Welcome to Willow Springs, where we've got an American supercar showdown, and there can only be one winner. Turn up your speakers and put your coworker on lookout. You don't want to miss this. On this episode of Head to Head, it's the Dodge Viper SRT-10 versus the Corvette Z06. This full throttle showdown is brought to you by Royal Purple. These are two of the fiercest and fastest machines on American soil, and we're putting them to the test on the track and in a head-to-head drag race. No tricks, no favoritism, and no BS. Now, let's take a quick look at the specs. A rundown of the vitals shows the Viper's massive 8.4-liter V10 beats the Vette's 7-liter V8 in horsepower and torque, while the Vette has a serious weight advantage of over 300 pounds and it's less expensive. On the pavement, will it be power or weight that wins out? Let's hear what some owners think about this shootout.
The amazing thing with the 2008 Z06 Vette is the unbelievable amount of power. It's a purpose-built race car. It's got a high-revving LS7 engine. The body has carbon fiber. It's shorter, it's skinnier. It'll beat a Viper hands down.
We wanted more horsepower, we wanted more torque, we wanted more grip, we wanted better styling.
This car has one purpose behind it, and that is to go fast.
Sounds like a race car at full throttle.
The Dodge Viper is going to take the Corvette.
Viper's going to kick its butt.
On the track, these cars are in the hands of Samuel Hubenet, better known as the Crazy Swede. He's a professional racer and Hollywood stunt driver. His balls-to-the-wall driving is exactly what's needed to get the most out of these cars. Coming up next, Sandy goes loco doing hot laps on the track, and only one can win. So hold on, speed racers. We'll be right back after a message from our sponsors.
Royal Purple increases horsepower, improves fuel economy, and reduces wear. And oh yeah, it works in more than just cars. Performance comes from within.
There is no spark plug more capable of harnessing power than the patented Denso Iridium Power Spark Plug. Denso Iridium Power Spark Plugs. For improved horsepower and better fuel economy on any vehicle.
Welcome back to Head to Head Viper versus Z06 battle at Willow Springs. The big track at Willow Springs is the fastest road course in the West. It's 2.5 miles and features 9 turns, one of which is the fastest in the US, and it's also got one of the longest front straights. Now, let's see what they're like to drive. It's time to flog these babies.
Woo! Raw power. It's fast, it's loud, but man, it's fun. 600 horsepower and no traction control. There are no computers helping you out here. Holy, it's brutal. Doesn't matter what speed you're doing, it still feels like your neck's gonna fall off when you hit that gas pedal. So let's see what kind of lap times we can pull with this puppy. Into the straightaway. Holy, we're passing 140 miles per hour here now. Buck 50. Let's see how the brakes are doing. And they take down the speed very well. There we go, gotta watch the rear end again. The low end torque just helps you come out of the corner so fast. If you're not the skilled driver, this car will eat you alive.
Viper has a lap time of 131.28. Timing segment compliments of Race Pack.
All right, we're in the Corvette Z06, 505 horsepower, 470 foot-pound of torque, and really fun car to drive. And you have to say, you gotta love this V8 sound. The steering input is really predictable. I really like the feedback I'm getting out of it. The rear end feels a little bit more nervous. That extra power I'm kind of missing on the long straightaway here at Willow Springs. The brakes are really good. There's no issues whatsoever with them overheating. You gotta be on it. But when you learn how to handle it, it's really fun. Yeah! Wow, I guess these Corvette guys can make a pretty good car too. Being with Dodge for 7 years, no one told me that.
The Corvette comes in a 132.06, about 3/4 of a second slower than the Viper. Now let's get to it. What you've been waiting to see, a real-world drag race. Just 2 professional drivers and no Hollywood camera tricks. One take all the way down the track. The Viper wins. It's time to tally the score. You saw the car straight up for yourselves. There's no favoritism here. Sammy may drive a Dodge at his day job, so what? This is our show and we don't play favorites. Engine goes to the Viper with a monstrous V10. Acceleration goes to the Viper too, although it just barely nosed out the Vette. Handling goes to the Z06. It's very predictable and much easier to go fast with. The Viper's a handful all the time, and the quick lap goes to the Viper. So the winner of this head-to-head matchup is the Dodge Viper SRT-10. Make no mistake, the Z06 is one hell of a car and is a little more practical than the Viper. But we say, who gives a rat's ass? If you want a daily driver, buy a Toyota Yaris, and then save up and buy the next best thing to owning a race car. Now, get back to work.